out of level 1 or level 2 crit flip and much more into, I don't know if you want to call it skill, but reaching level 6 first and then just running down your opponent with a level 6 advantage. So it's a lot less coin flip in the early levels, but his mid levels are definitely much more improved. And yeah, like I said, it is that Olaf locked in for Robo. Croc on the Wukong. Maybe a chicken word, but I don't expect much else here for the level 1.
Yeah, you talked about hitting level 6 being really important in the top lane, though, and I'll raise you, not, well, there's a word that I'm looking for, not controversially. The hitting level 6, even more important in the jungle this time around, since Ranger is on Vi, and Vi's level 6 is nasty at pulling off ganks. Since we've got Lava as well, this constant duo that's carried games for Loud does have to have their CC and their actual dueling potential online. So if Ranger, actually I dare say, once Ranger hits level 6, Lava and he are going to run the Rift. Before then, that's when Loud have time to make a play.
And it's probably not even going to be running the Rift in the mid lane. Ooh, level 1. Hear it. Did pop the Ghost. Robo also popped his own Ghost, but I don't, yeah, I was going to say, I don't expect that to actually be a kill. Anyways, yes, Ranger and Lava, they hit level 6. I would actually expect that play to be taken to the bot or the top lane. I don't expect them to make the play onto Tanones, especially if Tanone hits level 6 first or hits level 6 within a couple of seconds of Lava, just because it's quite hard to kill Lysandre, even with 2 people.
It really is, and I mean, Tinones with that pick pays a lot of respect to Lava and Ranger as well. He's not trying to style. Robo is, however, this is when we get to playoffs, the best top laner in the league, and he draws first blood in week number 9.
Man, I am so sorry, Robo. I said that your champion is not a level 2 champion anymore, and you definitely proved me wrong with that one. Getting both the summoner spells out from Herit. Literally at level 2, Robo's still holding on to his flash, which does mean he will be quite late in returning back to the wave, so it is all on Herit to make it more worth for him in terms of wave control. But Robo, very early on that first blood.
I'm really enjoying the fact that Robo was able to pull that off. This was the big question going into the match. We know Tino's going to be important. We know Lava's going to be important. Everything else really comes with the promise. Root and Seos scale extraordinarily well. But the question was, will Loud live by Robo or will they die by? And right now, it's looking a lot like they've got a pretty decent chance at life. The rest of the map, however, pretty calm. Everybody meeting in the middle, pushing out their waves appropriately. And our junglers have both gone for full clears. So it really is just up to the individual lanes to make plays if they need them.
Yeah, and like I said earlier in draft, Loud has drafted a very utility-heavy comp here. Their highest damage member by far is Robo, just because of his champion. Everyone else on this team for Loud requires many kills to be able to deal equal, if not still probably less damage than Robo will deal now for most stages of the game. Root eventually may be able to match him later, but even then, he is still mostly a utility-based AD carry. Croc going in for an invade. I don't think he's planning on actually stealing anything, but just get some extra vision, extra wards, and I'm going to keep saying the word extra utility here for Loud.
As much as you can get. Nice root on the bot lane. Natuno may go down here, does still have that flash, conserving it for the moment, knowing that he's got the backup of Zay on this Renata, a champion that we don't get to see too often anymore. Was meta for a while, but most importantly, in every team fight, we're looking for 2 things. Hostile takeover, which of course is going to really mess up any plan of engagements, and bailouts, which give your AD carry or anyone a second chance at life.
Croc with a very deep invade here on the top side does end up spotting Ranger out on the Krugs, but you gotta watch the top lane 1v1 at the same time. Robo not winning nearly as hard as he did the first time, and Ranger's the first top lane, or first jungle on the top side.
Robo does have flash right now. Croc's coming over, but this has gone sideways really quick. A dead Olaf, no longer able to play the game. Started because he did not see that gank coming for some reason, and that's just a pure mistake, Gamcom.
And that also goes back to Hero able to control the wave because he took teleport in this matchup. He died first level 2, but he was back way, way earlier than Robo. And like I was saying, it is all on Hero to maintain this wave. And he was able to freeze it right outside his tower long enough for Ranger even to be the first one to get that gank on the top side. Even Tanones was walking up. So if Robo was able to last only a couple more seconds, Tanones and Croc would have made that 3v2 and would have made it much more Loud favored in the 3v2.
By the time that Hero goes back to base, he's essentially, not just because of the actual death of Robo, where he picked up an assist, but just by the CS, has essentially killed Robo already. Hero is reclaiming control of this top side by storm, and it is really a battle up here. I'm watching those level counters. I'm seeing whether Robo can tick that level 6 and just run his face into this Fiora, because at this point, he needs that kill to stay relevant in this game.
Absolutely. Olaf is not a champion that has a really easy time getting back in any games. He's one of those few champions similar to that of a Draven, which I know all CBLOL viewers know very well. There's no such thing as being behind, or even you have to be ahead to be even on a champion like Olaf or Draven. Meanwhile, of course, as we were talking, the first Chemtech Dragon was taken for Loud. No really setup or anything to talk about for that one. It was pretty much just sneaking away outside of Vision Ranger, clearing it top to bot. Probably had a similar idea, but was just a little bit too late to execute on it.
Honestly, yeah, the Dragon take felt like a Krug for Croc. I feel like at the moment, he's been playing so much more for these mini objectives, just picking up jungle camps here and there, much like how we'd expected the Vi to play out. It is just farm till level 6 and get what you can done until then. Chemtech Drake is sort of the natural consequence right now. We do have an in-game pause, so everybody is going to be, I don't know, doing whatever people do in pauses. I guess it depends on why the game was paused. One of them could need water, the bathroom, or more likely than anything, a technical pause.
Yeah, I was going to say, no one's really getting up for the bathroom or water right now, and I highly doubt they would let you do that, even if you did need to get up for the bathroom. They would just say, nope, you can wait 20 minutes for the game to end, most likely. I personally, Dia, I do not know the last time I saw a CBLOL pause on stage. Do you remember?
I've seen plenty in the past couple weeks. I don't know what's going on.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I am here every week. Like, every day I am here all 5 games. The exception being last Sunday, where I actually wasn't here at all. But I did watch the games later, so
Shout out to Dia getting a professional Apex cast. He has to dodge our stream to go cast silly Apex Legends. It's the wrong type of Legends. Come on.
It's true. It's true. I don't think I can actually contractually say that, but you know, it is a different kind of legend. That's for
can.
Sure. Yeah, you can say whatever you want. But the point being, the CBLOL pauses have been happening actually relatively frequently. Not a good sign as we approach the playoffs. At the moment, though, I do want to talk a little bit about the game plans for these teams, where they're coming into the season, at what this game means to them, because no better time to do it than a pause. Loud, as I think everyone should know going into this game, are one of 4 teams tied for 2nd in the league. Los Grandes are the only ones that are like, whew, at least I'm out of that mess. They're sat at first, but they're not sat there forever, Capcom. There is still plenty of time for them to be unseated, specifically in this weekend. If Loud win this game, if any of the teams tied for 2nd win a game, you've got the chance to catch up to loss as long as they lose this one.
Absolutely, Los Grandes, if they lose this game and even potentially next game as well for tomorrow, right, that would definitely give an open window to the rest of these 4 teams. You got Fluxo, Loud, Pain, and the Red Canids all just waiting on Los Grandes' shoulder, and then Furia and INTC are a little bit further behind them, but still absolutely in that playoff contention seeding spots. This game, though, like you say, and particularly tomorrow's game as well for Los Grandes, probably their 2 most important games of the regular season so far, because they want to hold their first spot. They've had it the whole season, but now is the time to really show it, Zay.
taking
Uh-oh.
down the bot lane. That was a very surprising way for the 2v2 to explode, and Los Grandes stepping a little too close. The Jinx lane is still going to be nice. This is still, fine for Los Grandes, but giving up
Fine,
that kill
Copium.
early, not great.
If it makes you feel better, Dia, Seos was the one that did pick up that kill. So it is not a kill going on to root. Not as scary for the Los Grandes bot lane than it absolutely could be. I gotta know what skin and what chroma Zay is using. I need that skin and chroma right now.
Let me see if next time we get the camera.
It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, the observers heard us.
Yeah,
You see
I
this?
don't. It looks like the pink chroma. I have to tell you that right now. I am kind of colorblind though, so.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't.
It looks pink. I will agree with you, but there are probably like 3 pink chromas, and I don't know which one that is.
Oh no. See, you just have to get all of them, and then you can test them out one by one.
Okay.
That's the strat. Seos has moved up to the mid lane, and well, reason for that pretty evident. We've got the Rift Herald going on for Croc, and after being able to pick that up, should be able to make a play in a lane, especially as everybody starts to hit level 6. Seos just managing to pick that up in the mid lane, but Tanones has had his forever, and Ranger, most importantly, has managed to grab their ultimate. This is what we were waiting for, if you are a Los Grandes fan, is the chance for Ranger and Lava to make plays together, but Ranger is being caught out alone, has to burn the ultimate to get out of trouble and into the Dragon Pit, keeping Los Grandes safe for now, but a real problem when it comes to how they'll make plays around the map. Loud making a play in top lane onto Herit, who gets that counterattack, but still has to escape underneath the tower, has some healing available to him. Axe doesn't quite land, but doesn't get back under to survive. Robo picks up another kill at that level 6 mark, and in comes the rocket that will not connect for the kill.
Meanwhile, down here on the bot lane, Dia, I don't think the fighting is over quite yet. Seos does not have any. Sum's Root does have the Featherstorm available, but only has the heal. And as I say that, it is gone and away. So well played on the top lane there by Robo and Croc. It is a little bit unfortunate that they did both have to use their flashes against a flashless target, but sometimes that is just how dives work against a very high mobility type champion like the Fiora. And also, Dia, oh, never mind. We get to talk about this 1v1 again.
Well,
I had a different point, but
yeah, I mean you're the color.
Oh,
so
wait,
take it
no.
away.
I am the color caster. This is true. I do the analysis of the things. Here it got a couple of seconds of extra knowledge from Croc being here, thanks to the ward over the wall there. But other than that, he was not able to proc a single vital. Now I see it. He procced 1, maybe 2 vitals, but that is definitely not enough to survive the very scary dive. Yes, he got a lot of summoners out of the top side of Loud, but once again, it is up to here to decide how well he can really punish them for that.
And the healing cut that was picked up by Robo earlier really impacting the way that play turned out. Here it didn't get a chance to heal off of the vital procs as much as they would have liked, and this Fiora in a bit of trouble when it comes to the side lane. Still does have that edge in the 1v1, hasn't been shut down as much as Loud would have wanted, but it's still doable. Robo with some of the most gold in the game. Lava, however, coming up right behind him as this Talia has exerted some, I want to say, pretty okay lane control, but we're expecting some pretty serious map control for later. Ranger, occupied on the top side right now with the gank onto Herit, is going to go for the same thing as Loud went for moments before, but it's not going to work out nearly as well. Rocket.
Oh, that rocket was a lot closer than the other rocket, but still not going to be quite close enough. Herit will be able to take plenty of tower plates now on the top side. Reminder, Robo does not have TP to get up here in a timely manner. And you did make a good point there, Dia. Lava has been holding onto the Weaver's wall for almost the entire game. I have yet to see him place the wall anywhere. But once he does, that is when we can definitely start to see the real map pressure and map control that Talia typically can have in this game. He also has the highest level in the game for right now, just because he has been left alone in the mid lane for so long. Even Tanones has been roaming quite a lot to the top side. He's never really shown his face on the top side, but plenty of pressure ganks, walking out of vision long enough for Lava to be scared, but also walking long enough out of vision for Lava to be getting a 15 CS lead and now a level 8 as well.
I do worry about these team fights, though, because when we get to them, Tinones provides a lot for the team that maybe isn't going to come from damage, but it's going to come from a lot of zoning, with multiple melees in both Ranger and Turret, a Jinx that's always got to be scared. Tinones can zone really effectively, and Natuno may not even be getting to play the game until then. He's not allowed to step underneath his tower. Root and Seos threatening the dive, and they may very well go for it. Bounce doesn't quite connect, but the charm will insta-cleanse out of Natuno. Keeps him alive, but he picks up maybe 2 CS for that entire wave, loses 80% of his health bar, and burns a summoner spell. Natuno just can't stay here without backup.
Absolutely not. And Robo's, well, playing a little bit of a danger game with fire on the top side. I think at this point it should be pretty obvious to hear it that Robo has to have someone up here at the top starter. He would not be staying here for this long. He's playing the bait game. I don't like it that much, though. It is quite scary, yeah. But meanwhile, like you said, down there on the bot side, Natuno only has this flash now to give himself safety. Zay cannot be roaming nearly as much as he may like to. Hear it.
Recognizes weakness, tries to punish it, but
Wow.
Robo gets out on maybe 2 HP. That's a big pickup, as Loud, like you said, got uncomfortably close with that bait, but do technically pick up another kill, and this time have it go on to Croc, who will be impacting the map a whole lot more than the Olaf, and that's not a hot take.
Yeah, similar to mid laners here, Robo not quite having walked out of his lane here quite yet, and as I said, he is walking right down the mid lane, so I cursed him a little bit. Robo making his first steps outside of his own lane, might even be a lane swap here for Robo and Tinones. I was gonna say maybe for a dragon, but it is still 2.5 minutes on this next dragon route. Doing the classic 80 carry thing, get the tower to kill as many minions as possible before actually taking the turret down. That is now first turret officially in the books for Loud. They've got every single objective that has been on the map so far. One Rift Herald, another Rift Herald coming up in a couple of minutes, both of the first dragons and now the first tower, all for Loud, heavily contributing to the now 3,000 gold that they have at 15 minutes.
I mean, if it wasn't for a small int from Robo earlier on, they'd be on track for a perfect game, but we know Los Grandes, and they are not going to take a perfect game. Already having picked up the 1 kill and likely to pick up more, they rotated Natuno up early to be able to have access to this Rift Herald. Mythics on almost everyone except for Ranger, but with the Rift Herald going ever lower, Smite's going to come in, and they're going to have to pick that up. Ranger can't actually access the Eye of the Herald, and Los Grandes are getting decimated inside the pit, flashing over the wall. Robo's going for even more, forces out the cleanse, and 1v3 right now, finally gets the backup from Root, survives for just long enough that the Zai is able to pick up another kill, and Zay flashes over the wall. Lava survives with 10 hit points, but Los Grandes lose that fight in a big way.
Los Grandes, they killed the Rift Herald, but got nothing else. They didn't even get the Rift Herald. The Eye ended up expiring, and they were only able to get 1 kill onto Robo, and even then, definitely should not have been a kill on a Robo. I don't think he should have flashed over the wall, and you see the massive CC coming out from Lava over the wall, as well as the Berserk from Zay on the bot side of the fight, but neither one of those was timed well enough to have any damage members prepared to really be able to punish for those massive CC spells landing onto Loud. And yet, like I said, I don't think they necessarily needed to continue this fight. Yes, in a perfect world, it could have been an ace, but I definitely don't think Robo needed to necessarily die after that fight. So now I would still say every single objective has gone to Loud. That fight in particular, a 1 for 3 in the favor of Loud. They didn't get the Rift Herald themselves, but neither did Los Grandes. So it is null and void for both teams.
Scion Gods called it out in the chat, though. Unless the Brazilian factor strikes, it's going to be the tagline of this game. Robo's got that BR factor, Where he goes, you know what? I can 1v3. It's late enough, and Root right now is getting sent on. Ranger definitely having a little bit of that factor as he jumps in, picks up the kill, and Loud have to be on full retreat. That was an explosive pick on the AD carry, and just before the dragon, no less.
That is going to be the main way that Los Grandes is able to get back in this game, is get those important picks on the damage dealing members, which at this point in the game has to be either Robo or Root. They got one of the two. It's 5v4 now in the favor of Los Grandes. Watch the positioning though, especially on Robo. He is going to be probably the main deciding factor, definitely the highest damage dealer for the next couple of seconds until Root is able to get back into this fight. Los Grandes has walked around for long enough now that Root is off of death timer. He can have a couple of seconds to walk back the fight, but 5k left on the dragon. It has to be a steal angle now for Croc.
Loud have every ultimate available. Wall comes in from Lava, and it isn't going to be the steal. Instead, just the team fight as Loud do pick up that first kill, turning it into a few more as a huge knockup comes in from Seos. Zay goes down as well, and Lava, unfortunately, has to watch it all happen. This flanking Talia can do nothing as Loud steamroll the mid game.
And now it is just almost coming down to comfort on champions, I would say. More than anything, Los Grandes, they've picked meta champions. They've picked really strong champions right now, but it's just the comfort level is clearly shining higher for Loud, and also team communication, which I was not expecting to be a major factor for top of the table teams on the last round of regular season, but it looks like it is all just so much higher in the favor of Loud. Now a 6,000 goal lead for them as well after this team fight. I said watch the Robo positioning. Robo importantly was not caught on the wrong side of the wall. Unfortunately, they were not in time. Loud was not in time. I mean, in for the steal, and every single time Zay has been getting really strong berserks, whatever they're called, Renata ults onto 3 or 4 members, but it is just not in a good enough position for the rest of Los Grandes to really be able to follow up on that. And for now, they have such a massive goal deficit. They did pick up that dragon, they did pick up the last Rift Herald, but there's not a whole lot that they can really do when you lose 3 and then 4 members in 2 consecutive team fights.
Certainly not. Los Grandes have succeeded so much in the regular season based on their ability to just play League of Legends better than their opponents, and it's not anything fancy that they're doing. They're not pulling out strats that nobody's heard of before. Los Grandes so often are just more decisive than other teams. They're more ready to commit to plays, and those plays just so happen to be often really nice choices. But up against Loud, you're encountering a bit of a problem. When Tinones has that go button, Loud aren't indecisive. For all that they love to split up during the mid game, for all that they've got plays like this, where Robo just goes for it and picks up the kill in the 1v2. God. He might actually take down here. Still run around. No. There we go. Picks up that.
Look at Robo's face.
Finally. Pick on the top laner. Robo got really scary though, but for all that we've got that on the side of Loud, where we just go, you know what? Screw it. Let's fight. You've got Tinones, and Tinones brings the team together. It's been so important in these team fights, and I suspect it's going to be once again.
3v4 here for Loud on the top side here. It does
Rocket
have TP available if they want to take this fight. Rocket reveals the Baron, but Los Grandes does not want to make any contest for this Baron. Loud will have the Baron buff as well on these 4 members. I don't think Robo was up in time to actually get the Baron buff. Until they pan to him, I won't know it for certain, but Loud will have the Baron buff on at least 4 members now for this next dragon fight. It's Ocean Soul Point once again on the table for Loud, and nope, camera's not panning to Robo, so I can't confirm if he got the Baron buff actually, but that was a really good fight once again, like you said, by Robo. That's not something that you usually get to see in competitive play. It's just a top laner flashing over a wall, going in for 1v2s like that. Robo knows his damage limit so well on a champion like Olaf, and this game in particular, it's a very important game to be able to play to those damage limits as close as possible, really.
It's been pivotal for the rest of Loud to make use of that pressure. Robo doesn't play scared. He never plays scared. And so the rest of Loud get to work with this constant source of, well, Olaf on the map. Somebody's got to deal with it. Are you going to send just the Fiora? No, because she's going to die. Because there's a good chance that she does. And when you send 2 people, it's clearly not enough. It's been this constant, just, as I said, source of Olaf, allowance for Loud to push out other lanes. And it's meant a lot so far. This is the Robo that you want to see come playoffs. The one that demands that the team play around his pace. In flashes Tinones getting that engage. Root instantly goes down, but we're fighting underneath the tower, and hear it! Gets CC to high heavens, unable to strike back on the pseudo flank. Down is going to go an inhibitor, and Loud could try and take a little bit more here. They've got the teleport from Tinones to try and end the game right now. It looks like that's what they're going to do. They've got 3 kills already, and Loud want that higher spot in the league. They want to dethrone your champions, and they're going to do that right here and now. Netuno going for the kills on this Jinx, gets the second chance at life, but even 2 chances isn't enough for Los Grandes to take down Loud.
Los Grandes officially fall, not from first for now, but now definitely in a position to be taken from their first place spot. They've held it almost the entire season here in the spring split, and now Loud have shut them down, taking them now to the 12-5. Loud bring their way out of the second place 4-way tie. They have secured themselves second place for now at 11-6, just 1